누군가가 지금 찾아온 느낌이 있다. 문을 두들기고 있다. 그래서 이제 가봅니다. 이 가족 사진 어디 골동품점에서 산 거예요. 가족 물건들이 대부분 이제 팔려 나와가지고. 근데 이런 걸 왜 팔지? 도저히 이해할 수가 없어. 딱 보면 어머니는 엄청난 미인이다. 한 걸 알 수 있죠. 현대에 와서도 저 정도 미인이 드물다. 누구지?
I was looking for you.
Hello.
With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
You can call me your new game. The rules are simple. I have something for you, but you alone must work out what that is.
And that something is my prize, I suppose?
You're a fast learner, sir.
뭐야? 이 사람 셜록 홈즈에 대해서 알고 있나? 이런 걸 시키지. 머리카락에 분홍색 페인트. 최근에 묻었다. 선원 제복. 오래되고 낡았다. 흠집 하나 없는 손. 고된 노동의 흔적이 없음. 왼손잡이 사각형의 물건을 숨기고 있다. 오래되고 낡았다. 흠집 하나 없는. 노동 흔적이 없다. 최근에 묻었다. 사각형의 물건을 숨기고 있다. 선원 예술가, 선원으로 변장한 예술가. 읽어볼게요. 한 남자가 우리 집에 와 자신이 새로운 게임이라고 선언했다. 그의 손에는 주기적으로 신체적인 활동을 한 흔적이 없었다. 옥수수를 먹지도 않고 거친 피부를 가지고 있지도 않다. 하지만 그가 오래되고 낡은 제복을 입고 있는 것으로 보아 아직도 복무 중인 것으로 추정된다. 그의 머리카락에는 분홍색 페인트 한 방울이 묻어 있다. 어떤 식으로든 예술적으로 연관이 있을 것이다. 이게 선원 예술가구나. 선원으로 변장한 예술가. 한 남자가 선원의 복장을 한 채 우리 집에 와 자, 이건 똑같고 머리카락에 묻은 분홍색 페인트 한 방울이 그를 배신하고 그가 예술계와 연관이 있다는 사실을 말해 주었다. 이게 무슨 얘기야? 그를 배신하다니? 번역 이상한 것 같은데. 그의 손에는 주기적으로 신체적인 활동을 한 흔적이 없다. 옥수수를 먹지도 않고 거친 피부를 가지고 있지도 않다. 뱃사람 복자가 어울리는 손이 아니다. 고된 노동의 흔적이 없는데 선원이 제복은 낡았다. 여기에서 잘못된 게 뭐가 있을까? 아직 복무 중인 거. 아니 복무 중인데 선원이 복무 중이다. 복무 중인데 손이 안 거칠 수 있어? 이게 가능한가? 그냥 선원복은 주워 입은 것 같은데. 선원으로 변장한 예술가.
I cannot believe that Mr. Vogel has somehow successfully called my attention to his gallery. You're here with an invitation to visit it, obviously.
My word, you are fast, Mr. Holmes. Could you explain how you came to that conclusion?
Of course. Explanations are my favorite part of any conversation. Hands without any sign of regular physical activity, in contradiction to one who would most usually wear such a uniform. The paint in your hair is pink. I don't know of any military service that paints their ships pink, unless they have launched a new fashionable fleet. A sailor with the soul of an artist? I would suggest rather a gallery employee disguised as a sailor to mislead me. How many artists on the island know where I live and of my passion for deduction? Werner Vogel is clearly at the top of the list. And you've been attempting to conceal something square-shaped within your pocket. An invitation, I suppose. An invitation to Mr. Vogel's gallery.
That was remarkable, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Vogel was right about your genius. I think he may have even underestimated you. This is your invitation. Please tell Mr. Vogel that the seed has been planted. He asked me to tell you to do so, if you win this little game. Farewell.
처음에 어머니께서 알려진 것처럼 폐결핵으로 죽은 게 아니다라고 정보를 준 게 보겔이라는 사람이죠. 갑자기 마주쳐가지고 그 무덤, 그러니까 묘 근처에서, 엄마의 묘 근처에서 친애하는 셜록 홈즈에게 당신이라면 벌써 짐작했겠지만 당신을 제 미술 전시회에 초대하고 싶어요. 아름다움을 보며 사색에 빠져보라는 의도만 있는 건 아니고 당신의 천재성이 좀 필요해요. 파랑은 올드시티 바자가와 헤르메스 대로의 교차로에 있는 카라반 세라이에 있어요. 언제나 당신의 친구인 비비. 언제 친구였지? 이게 나야?
You won't believe it, but Werner's other idea was to put me in a dress.
그렇구만. 아, 이게 중요한 건가 보네. 여기 같이 나란히 있는 거 봐서는. 다른 사건 같은 경우는 뭐 밑에 있거나 그런데. 어머니의 4월 9일 아침. 4월 9일은 시작부터 좋지 않았다. 어머니는 불안해하다 히스테리 상태가 되었다. 그녀는 의사에게 음식을 던지며 소리를 지르고 그가 거짓말쟁이라고 하셨다. 존과 나는 어머니의 아침 차를 가져왔는데 큰 소리가 나기 시작하자 나는 무서워졌다. 내가 할 수 있는 것은 그저 근처의 침대에 숨어 모든 것이 지나가기만 바라는 것뿐이었다. 고맙게도 존이 나를 지켜주고 진정시켜 주었다. 이게 어제까지 얻었던 과거의 기억이었죠. 그럼 이제 이걸 해야 되네? 올드시리 바자와 헤르메스 올드시리 하는 거죠. 올드시리 바자가와 헤르메스 이네? 바자와 헤르메스 이쪽에 있겠네? 놓지 마. 카라반세라이에 있다. 아, 지금 힌트를 좀 알려주려나? 세르메인 뭐 이런 게 표시가 전혀 없는데? 가봐야 아는 건가? 아, 이거네? 카라반세라이. 뭐야? 카라반세라이. 가보자. 그 전에. 그냥 가자. 바로 가게 한 다음에 둔두루둔둔둔둔 둔두루둔둔둔둔둔둔둔둔둔둔둔둔둔 다 왔는데? 이건가? 여기가 미술관이라고? 들어올 수 있는 거 봐서는 맞는 것 같기도 한데. 맞네. 아, 이 자식. 상적은 녀석.
Mr. Holmes, you came. Oh, how kind. Though now, of course, I realize it is because of my game, not the works on display.
It needn't be one or the other. Your man's disguise was easily debunked, Mr. Vogel, but I shall admit that you planted in me the seed of curiosity.
Ah, terrific. I had no doubt you'd put the pieces together. Let us call it an opening gambit before the real game begins.
So, this little game of yours, what's it about?
An enigma to solve. A locked area in the basement with no windows found brutally vandalized. I have no clue how it was possible.
And this locked area downstairs, what exactly was it?
The under gallery. It's always shut, and I'm the only one with a...
The gallery.
So this is your private collection, not part of the gallery.
Oh, no. It's an exclusive exhibition of eccentric pieces. Only a select cadre of artists, investors, and collectors are admitted. Not everyone deserves to have their eyes opened.
What about this intrusion? What happened?
Last night, I was about to leave the gallery when I heard a noise downstairs. I went to the basement, but I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. It was admittedly a rudimentary inspection. It is not uncommon to get rats down there, so seeing nothing of note, I left and locked up the building. When I returned this morning, alas, I discovered that part of the exhibition had been torched, and there was no sign of the intruder. The mystery being, of course, that all the doors to the gallery were locked exactly as I left them.
And the door to the basement is the only entrance?
Correct. Tell me you're not intrigued.
Well, this matter is certainly within my wheelhouse.
This intrusion troubles me. Please take a look around if you're willing. The under gallery is through the door at the end.
I will see what I see.
저 말이 맞다면 상식적으로 네가 불지른 거잖아. 네가 보고 네가 나왔으니 네가 불지른 거지. 가볼까?
I wish I could show you the gallery under different circumstances, but life is beautiful in its unpredictability, isn't it?
황색 그리스도 폴 고갱 진짜야? 진짜 폴 고갱 거야? 아니겠지? 들리는데? 어디 있다고 그랬지? 맞네. 진짜야? 윈번실.
Back home, we've got a taxidermist. He's gonna have a heart attack when he sees what I bring him.
악제사?
A simplistic attempt at provocation.
뭐야, 상어야? 상어 이렇게 전시해놨구나. 근데 잠깐. 물이 떨어지네? 신선한 상어인 거야? 아니겠지.
A true artist never shows an unfinished piece.
73cm?
The left
61.
side's length is shorter than the right. It indicates that the walker was lame. Old, and hasn't been used for a long time. Closed with a metal bolt.
아속? 줄기자고 얼마 되지 않아.
Footprints. Size 9.5.
움직여졌다고?
A handprint of the thing from another world. But it looks fresh, and its coal origin ruins the effect of the extra mundane.
자. 여기 누가 숨어 있었나?
Sherry, how about some company in that dreary chamber of yours?
Leave my loneliness unbroken, John. Sodden and mold-ridden, one presumes deliberately.
여기구나, 사건 현장이.
Ugh, sheer vandalism. Only an ignorant person could do such a thing. A Malpal butt. Coal fingerprints. I think we're looking for a man with a coal moustache.
한. 사슬이 약하다. 그림을 위해? 끝이야 이게? 밟은 못한 게 있는 것 같은데?
The parasites of creativity? Or just a reflection of the artist's recreational interests?
와우, 이게 뭐야?
Saturn devouring his sun. A grim composition.
Unflinching in its ferocity, yet somehow beautiful.
또 있어? 또 있네?
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the hatch bolt. He accidentally pushed a shovel to the floor. Vogel heard the noise. At the sound of his approaching footsteps, the intruder hid inside the coffin. When Vogel entered the basement, he failed to notice anything strange and left without properly checking. The intruder waited until Vogel had left the caravanserai before burning the paintings in Wilde's room, but the vandalism was a cover for the theft.
진짜야? 내가 그렇게 세우긴 했지만 좀 믿을 수가 없는 이야기이기도 한데. 근데 주인장이 저기 안에 반 안에 들어갔다라는 게 조금 마음에 걸려. 얘는 진짜 주인이 거기 들어갈 리는 없잖아. 볼까? 지난 저녁 보게는 지하 화랑에서 소리가 나는 것을 들었다. 그는 지하로 내려갔으나 꼼꼼하게 확인하지 않았다. 소리는 석탄 슈트를 통해 지하실로 들어온 침입자가 낸 것이었다. 침입자는 보겔이 내려오는 소리를 듣고 관 안에 숨었다. 그는 보겔이 카라반세이라이를 떠날 때까지 기다렸다가 전시실을 훼손했다. 그 후 와일드 실의 그림을 전부 내려 불태웠다. 그러나 그것은 그저 절도를 숨기기 위한 위장이었을 수도 있다. 지하 화랑. 전시실은 태폐적인 예술가 이름을 기준으로 구분되어 있다. AC 스윈번 실에서 우리는 회골이 들어가 있는 관을 찾았다. 안에 있는 회골은 살짝 움직여져 있었다. 관 뚜껑에는 누군가 석탄 자국을 남겼다. IY 프랑코실의 석탄 화물 출입구는 잠겨져 있었는데 출입구 문 안쪽 면에 자석으로 긁힌 자국이 새로 나 있었다. 화물 출입구 안에 누군가 발자국을 열어놓게 남겼다. I.Y. 프랑코실 바닥에는 석탄 발자국이 남아 있었다. 왼쪽 발자국 길이가 오른쪽 발자국보다 짧은 것을 보아 절뚝거린다는 것을 알 수 있다. 와일드 실의 그림은 대부분 제자리에서 사라진 상태였다. 바닥에는 불에 탄 그림들의 잿더미가 있었으나 그중 한 액자틀이 비어 있는 것으로 보인다. 그 근처에서 우리는 석탄 지문이 묻은 말팔 담배꽁초를 찾았다. 석탄 발자국.
Sodden and mold-ridden. One presumes deliberately.
응?
Back home, we've got a taxidermist. He's gonna have a heart attack when he sees what I bring him.
A simplistic attempt at provocation.
찾은 건가? 그래서 이걸 어떻게 해야 된다는 거고. 다시 물어보러 가야 되나? 헐. 엉덩이가 작품이네.
The pieces are not what I expected.
What do you think my collection is about?
죽음, 타락, 부패? 제대로 본 게 없는데?
Extravagant paintings have been left to rot in a basement. A commentary on decay and the crumbling of society, correct?
I don't know.
Well, that's absurd. Of course you know. It's your gallery.
There is no one answer, no singular truth, but many filtered through the subjective mind. That forgetting, embellishing, lying machine. Besides, what's wrong with a lie if it makes life more interesting?
What's wrong with a lie? It corrupts the ability of others to behave freely and rationally.
Men never act freely and rationally anyway. It matters not what is or isn't in the end. The only important thing is how you feel. And I simply want to feel and consume as much as I can. Don't you?
Feelings are simply one's animal ancestry trying to wrest back control of the brain. I try to avoid the distraction.
You try not to feel, even in a place like this? None of it moves you?
To be frank, I struggle to maintain even a whit of interest in art.
But, Mr. Holmes, it is joy incarnate, mankind's greatest achievement.
Mankind's highest achievement above all others is objective and rational thought.
I see then why you dislike art, for it means whatever you want it to.
Or perhaps, Mr. Vogel, I was lying.
Aha.
Mr. Vogel, I have confirmed that the intruder was an average-sized, flexible, Malpal smoker with a limp. As it happens, the vandalism was a cover. The true intent was to steal a painting without your knowledge. The fact is, one of the pieces from the Wild Room is not in the wreckage.
What? That is extraordinary.
This thief was familiar with the gallery and he was sporting a limp. Do any of your clients or artists come to mind?
My, your attention to detail is remarkable, Mr. Holmes. I should introduce you to Bosch's works. Alas, I'm afraid I cannot suggest a culprit.
The fire was a clever attempt to hide a stolen painting, even if it didn't fool me. I found the remnants of an empty frame in the pile of ashes. The canvas had been removed. Do you know which paintings in the Wild Room may have interested a thief? Were any particularly expensive?
Those pieces belong to a well-known artist named Boniface Mercurio. They're controversial, but not of a notably high value.
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the latch and dislodged the shovel while doing so. That's the noise you heard yesterday. When you went downstairs to investigate, he hid in the coffin.
It seems I should have checked the space more thoroughly.
There's something more, is there not? I can see it in your eyes.
Indeed. There is another intriguing angle. I recently received an anonymous offer for one of Mercurio's works. The sum was more than fair, and indeed could have saved Mercurio from his artistic poverty. But he declined it.
Was it a performative whim? Some artists lionize pain and hardship as if their work would be worse after a meal and a hot bath.
I cannot tell. But not only did he refuse the deal, he insisted on displaying the painting in the public space. I was hoping to change his mind, but artists are a special breed of stubborn.
What was depicted in the piece?
A bound woman, wrapped in robes, being penetrated by a red devil that stared at us, the viewer. The beast had numerous tails growing from his back, and a large crowd gathered around the pair, silently watching the orgiastic scene.
Okay, well, given the nature of the other works on display, it's hard to see why that one stood out. What could possibly be its value?
The evaluation of art is very subjective, Mr. Holmes. After all, art is everything. A poem, a bruise, the beads of sweat on your beloved skin. Even a masterfully solved crime.
I'm not sure I see the connection.
Regardless, the painting was one of a series called The Sabbath Night in Cordona. The works depict sex, violence, and other controversial acts that life, for better or worse, contains.
Ah, I see.
I'm not sure that you do, but that can wait for another time.
So where can I find Boniface Mercurio?
I know he lives somewhere in Old City, but couldn't be more specific. He's a prominent figure, so finding him shouldn't be a problem.
Well, I believe I have enough to begin. Thank you, Mr. Vogel. Your gallery certainly has unexpected depths.
I'm delighted to have been able to please a friend. In return, I expect you to come back with good news. Or at least with a good story.
친구 아니야. 친구도 아니지만 문제는 그게 아니라 그럼 그 사람이 어디 있는지를 알아찾으라는 거 아니야. 이럴 수가. 도난당했을지도 모르는 그림. 그림을 감상하는 사람을 마주 응시하고 있는 악마와 밧줄을 묶인 여성이 사랑을 나누고 있고 그들 주위로 군중이 둘러싸고 있다. 악마는 빨갛고 뒤에서 여러 개의 꼬리가 뻗어나와 있다. 프로도나의 안식일 밤이라는 연작 중 하나. 여기에 그려진 뭔가가 어떤 사람 굉장히 불편하게 만들었나? 아니면 근데 불편하게 만들었다면 태웠겠지. 가져갔다. 그래, 제거하기를 하려는 목적이었다면 태우면 되잖아. 메르크리오의 주소. 눈에 띄는 사람이라고 했다. 두 개가 있는데 일단 이거 찾아야겠네.
I think I'll leave the exhibition in its current state for a while. I'll call it The Art of Vandalism.
여기가 올드 시리는 맞는데 클로니컬 뭐 이런데 신문? 신문이라 신문
Mr. Holmes, I have something for you.
홈즈인지 어떻게 알았대?
I see what you're up to. Mysterious stranger pursues betrothed woman.
나 변장했거든요.
Let us keep things professional. I have in my possession an envelope containing details of a special assignment for you. Tell me, are you interested?
이것도 그래, 알았어. 해줄게. 다 하자.
I believe I am, but to be very clear, Miss Sertle, my interest extends to the message and not the messenger.
So he claims he's not a gal sneaker, seducing women everywhere he goes. Perhaps the truth is even more scandalous?
Please spare me the speculation and return to the matter at hand.
A gang of smugglers, the Eels, have Codona in their clammy grip. The British Empire can abide it no longer. Mycroft insists they be disbanded. But this organization only falls with the capture of their odious leader, Friedrich Panzer. And note well, I did say capture, not kill. Inside your envelope is a map marked with the Eels' warehouses. But alas, we do not know in which Friedrich Panzer resides.
So even Mycroft has his limits.
Indeed. You must be sure to identify the correct warehouse before entering. Because once one is compromised, the other's occupants will scatter. Here are all the files, and feel free to use the archive too. Again, do not enter the wrong location, nor see any harm done to Friedrich Panzer.
Miss Sertle, if you're quite done with the redundant instructions, I shall get to work.
Well, that's perfect. Tortured hero lashes out after rejected romance. Tomorrow's edition will be a sensation.
최근 유명인사 오, 이 사람인가? 예술가들의 판매 전시회에서 일어난 다툼. 지난주에는 지역의 이른바 예술계 상류층과 관련된 새로운 투문이 있었다. 전부 태페이 춤이라는 그림 판매 전시회에서 일어난 일이다. 시작된 일이다. 맞구나. 출판사의 사장인 사자 다론 터윅. 이 태페화가 보니파스 메르쿠리오에게 의자를 던지면서 목가적인 분위기를 깨버렸다. 태페화가라고 불리는구나. 터윅 씨가 나중에 밝히기는 메르쿠리오 씨가 자신의 이름을 욕보였기 때문에 벌인 일이라고 했다. 할럼 작가는 독자들에게 메르쿠리오 씨와 터윅 부인이 함께 커피숍에 있던 모습이 포착되었음을 정중하게 알려드린다. 이후 오케스트라 지휘자 커트 갤러거가 친구인 메르쿠리오를 보호하기 위해 터윅 씨의 머리를 그림으로 내쳤다. 다수의 고객이 가담한 큰 싸움이 벌어졌다. 긴 싸움 끝에 경찰이 도착했고 상류층 싸움꾼들은 모두 체포되었으며 일주일간 감시 대상에 올랐다. 얼마나 숨막히는 행사였는지 독자 여러분들이 충실한 조언으로서 판매 전시회에서 기념품을 구입할 시기를 제안드린다. 안타깝게도 전시회는 막을 내렸으나 보니파스 메르쿠리오 본인이 자신의 그림을 구매할 수 있도록 우리 독자 여러분을 집으로 초청했다. 그는 올드시리 스칼렛가와 올리브가의 사이에 헤르메스 대로에서 만날 수 있다. 헤르메스대로 스칼렛과 올리브. 스칼렛과 올리브. 여기구나. 여기네. 여기네. 변장 괜히 했잖아. 이렇게 변장해도 셜록이지 다 아는데. 뭐가 의미가 있어? 안 돼. 여기 들어왔는데 바로 셜록이라 이름 부르고 말해. 변장은 아무 의미가 없다. 나중에. 경찰서에도 사건 기록이 있으려나? 갑자기 궁금하네. 봐봐야지. 싸웠다고 했으니까 경찰서에도 뭐가 있지 않을까?
He's even been
성범죄. 용의자? 피의자인가? 불평은 뭐야, 불평? 뭐야, 이걸 왜 이런 거 보냐? 가자. 이쪽으로 옮겨갔구나. 피자 아니야? 이게 장력 범죄야, 이게? 불평 아니면 불평? 다음 경범죄. 나 이런 건 없나 보다. 가자. 어차피 어디 있는지 알았으니까. 난 또 뭐라도 있을 줄 알았는데 그건 범죄로서 뭐 성립이 안 됐나? 후통 까고 있는 사람. 표시가 됐네?
May I ask you something?
You shouldn't have left your mansion. You won't get any answers from me.
Excuse me, young man. Where do you think you're going?
Greetings, ma'am. I'm looking for the...
I don't care who you're looking for. You shall not pass. No visitors allowed.
I wish to buy a painting from Mr. Boniface Mercurio. Is he at...
Dearie, tell me, because old age has made me blind. Did someone write Information Bureau on my forehead? Because I'm not here to answer your questions. Entry is for residents only. If you aren't a resident, please leave, or I shall report you to the police.
보헤미안 예술가? 화가의 거주지. 결국 복장을 단정하게 해야 되는구나. 보헤미안처럼. 결국 복장을 하는 건 맞았구나.
Landscapes and portrait. My goods will... You always know where to find me.
The finest clothes for the finest citizens.
이거구나. 갑자기 팔기 시작했네, 보헤미안. 예술가의 턱. 예술가의 태닝 파우더.
A perfect choice.
야, 너무하네 진짜. 이게 예술가야? 나 예술가요. 예술가 행차요. 딱 봐도 예술가 얼굴이지 않소. 예술가의 복장. 그렇게 안 보이니? 얘야?
May I ask you something?
I wish I could help you, mister. But I can't.
나. 저요 예술가입니다.
I wish I could help you, mister. But I can't.
아, 얘네들 예술가의 감정이 없네.
Boniface, sweetie. Is that you? Ah, old age does terrible things to one's sight. I didn't recognize you at first.
How are you, Mum? I'm ashamed to admit that I've lost my key. Do you have a spare?
For heaven's sake, how many times will you lose that key of yours? Of course I have a spare. You artists all live in your own little world.
Please accept my thanks.
I would rather accept your rent. You promised to pay me several weeks ago, and I'm still waiting.
I will pay you, I promise, very soon.
You'd better do, my dear. Or else I'll just change the lock. And I won't fall for those cow eyes.
야, 아예 이제 본인으로 착각하시네. 너무 하시는 거 아닙니까? 2층 어떻게 가냐 또? 소냐? 아, 2 이렇게. 오, 뭐 현대집 같은데? 얘네들 왜 저기 저렇게 가 있냐? 사건이 더 터졌구만. 역시 야 원조 김전일, 원조 코난.
The chest has been searched. Aunt May whiskey, brandy bucks. Quite a collection he had here. It appears the wine was truly awful. I wonder where he got that fancy camera. Despite the overall tendency towards mess, you cannot sit with the drawer pulled out like this. Someone left it after searching. The blood has dried.
I've heard of this style of painting. It is called expressionism.
Judging by post-mortem rigidity, the body lay here for 1 or 2 days. Soaked in blood. It seems as if the puddle of blood was here before the rags.
닦았네.
The wound is precise. It was inflicted by a razor or a knife. Could be the murder weapon. A normal kitchen knife.
별게 없는 것 같은데.
The photograph was not pulled out in time. Such a waste of material. Look at this, John. Isn't it our stolen demon?
근데 왜 저게 사진으로 돼 있는 거지? 자기 그림이? 찾은 것 같은데. 그러나 지금 상황을 봐서는 아직 못 찾은 것 같아. 뭔가가 없어. 이거 뭔데?
Red skin, tails on the back, reminds me of Verda's description of the stolen painting.
이거네. 이게 무슨 상황인 거지?
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
이게 무슨 상황이냐는 거야. 그러니까 뒤집은 건 맞는 것 같고.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
그래? 아닌데 이게 맞지 싶은데. 팔을 들었으니까 맞죠. 이렇게 가겠지. 맞죠.
Mercurio was developing photographs when the intruder snuck in. Mercurio heard him coming. While the thief was searching the chest, the painter ran towards him with a bottle in his hand. He smashed it across the thief's head. The intruder had no choice but to defend himself, and the weapon of opportunity happened to be a kitchen knife. Mercurio stepped aside to grab the painting, but the wine-blinded thief attacked Mercurio's throat. When the thief came to his senses, he saw Mercurio bleeding on the floor. He grabbed the rags and tried to bandage him, but it was too late. Why did Mercurio attempt to snatch the painting in the middle of a fight? To strike the intruder? Not with his painting, it was too important to him.
여기 천이었구나. 목에 범인이 되는 게. 천이었구나, 천. 그래, 그러면 말이 돼. 범인은 죽이려고 한 게 아니었단 말이지. 천을 봤을 때는. 아, 이게 뭐가 맞는 거야? 뭐 연관되는 게 뭐 크게 없어 보이는데. 그래, 이건 맞죠. 다 했네. 더 이상 없다.
It's time for some chemical magic, John.
이건 또 뭐지? 그럼 3, 1만 남았지. 3, 1. 위에 게 1인 게 없네. 하나도 없네. 너무 복잡하게 하고 있는 것 같은데 그냥 뭐 되는 대로 해. 그렇게 생각하는 것 같아. 이 일만 만들면 되네. 이 빵을 그린 정문화? 이건 무슨 규칙이지? 때까지 내가 이거 모르고 플레이했다는 게 웃긴다. 아이템의 용도를 알아내기?
That doesn't look like the painting we need, Sherry.
As expected, but that doesn't mean it won't tell us anything. Let's put it on the easel where it belongs. I guess this is his most ordinary painting. Spot the two differences, John?
아, 다른 점을 찾아내라는 거구나.
If the intruder didn't take it, the skull should be somewhere here.
이게 뭐야?
Nothing behind it.
한 가지가 더 있다고? 보이지도 않잖아 이쪽은. 한 가지가 더 있다. 숨은 그림 찾기 하는 건가? 아, 틀린 그림 찾기? 틀린 그림이라.
Nothing behind it.
아닌가? 있는 거 맞죠? 두 가지가?
Red skin, tails on the back, reminds me of Werder's description of the stolen painting. I guess this is his most ordinary painting. Spot the two differences, John? I guess this is his most ordinary painting. Spot the two differences, John?
아무리 봐도 난 이 그림이 좀 있어. 여기는 그림 자체가 안 보이는 거 아닌가? 뭐지 그렇다면? 이 정도로 주변 돌아다녔으면 하얗게 떠야 되는데 뜨질 않네. 이유는 무엇인가? 아, 이 나무 맞네.
Nothing behind it.
이 나무가 저기 없는데?
Nothing behind it.
아닌가? 아직 못 찾았다는 건데.
If the intruder didn't take it, the skull should be somewhere here.
아, 두개골 찾으라는 얘기구나, 지금. 이제 알았다. 두개골을 찾으라는 이야기였어.
The chest has been searched.
두개골은 과연 어디 있는 것인가? 여기 있네.
Monster was actually a man. Poor girl. John, you ought to be thrilled. We are now hunting the devil himself.
What were you saying, Sherry? I was too busy sketching the scene, you know, crimes and such like, daily routine. Did you find something?
A photograph. It depicts a man in a red suit with tails sprouting from his back and multiple people in masks watching the scene. It all adds up. But the act of love, it wasn't given willingly, John. It was a violation. And the girl, she was with child.
Give that to me now. Did you recognize someone?
No. Although the victim is not from Cordona, she is African. Look at the ritual scars on her face.
Get that image out of your brain. You have to continue the investigation.
I must speak to the landlady. Perhaps she saw or heard something.
Sherry, you cannot tell her the truth about Mercurio. It will hurt her.
John, that's illogical. Sooner or later, she will come here and discover a corpse, and I still need to talk to her.
Just avoid mentioning corpse, all right? Stick to the character, tell her to call the police.
I'll take that into account.
And wait here. I've redrawn the people in the photograph. Now you can proceed with your investigation without those horrific details. You always take me to the best of places, Sherry.
What's wrong, dear? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Can you tell me if anyone else has recently entered the flat?
Oh, you're talking about that limping man. I'm sorry I let him in. I was scared. And I thought maybe he would motivate you to find money so that you would pay your rent. No offense, dear.
Can you describe him?
Oh, so you weren't at home. I was so certain you didn't leave your flat that day. He was of average height, had a limp and a tattoo on his neck, and he was smoking Malpal cigarettes. My husband used to smoke those. They have a horrible smell I can recognize from a mile away.
Can I ask a favor?
Of course, dearie.
Please call the police and ask them to enter the flat. And don't look inside until they come up.
What? What trouble have you stepped in this time?
It really doesn't matter. Thank you, Mum.
Whew, Sherry, that was close. But you did everything correctly. Now, take off your outfit. I can't let you walk around in a dead man's clothes.
오, 자동으로 입혀줬네? 볼 수가. 이게 무슨 설정이지? 주위 사람한테 준 거잖아. 왜 이런 거 모르고 여태까지 게임을 어떻게 다 잘 진행을 했지? 신기하고. 그냥 정말 알아서 생각했나 보네. 나의 감탄스럽다. 그렇다면 이거를 고정시켜 놓고 물어봐야 된다는 건데 어떻게 물어볼게? 사람이 어딘지 물어봐야 된다는 건데 근데 막 물어볼 수는 없는 거 아니야? 부족 흉터가 있는 걸맞는 사람을 줘야 되는데 근데 이 게임 특성상 신분에 따라서 정확히 대답해주는 사람이 있고 대답해주지 않는 사람이 있기 때문에 부족 흉터 그쪽 입어야 돼? 그래서 아프리카 옷 같은 게 있구나. 문제는 부종들이 어디 사느냐는 거야. 아프리카 사람들이. 여기 한 돌아다녀야 되나? 얘들도 그런 거 같은데? 되겠다. 그러니까 옷이 필요할 거라고 상상도 못해. 옷 사러 가야 돼. 어우 미안. 여긴가 옷가게가?
Don't miss out on my unique clothes. Let's pick something that suits you. A good choice. A good choice indeed.
꼬리색의 효용을 얻을 수 있습니다. 이건 아끼고 있어. 볼까?
Decorate your house in Oriental style.
May I ask you something?
No, I haven't heard about that.
Excuse me, just one question.
Oh, I've heard talk.
여자의 얼굴에 있는 흉터는 에웨 부족의 것으로 보인다. 코르도나에서 에웨족 사람들을 찾을 수 있는 곳은 스칼라디오와 실버튼 사이. 빅토리아 다리 아래 있는 난민 캠프다. 땡큐. 여기 있는 난민. 여긴가? 아닌 것 같은데? 못 올라가냐?
Do you know anything about this?
That's a good question, friend. But like all good questions, I don't have an answer.
Help me, please.
Oh, if only I could help you with this.
아, 저길 얘기하는 거구나.
Excuse me, just one question.
Sorry, friend, I'm not familiar with that.
Beasts!
Is this familiar to you?
I don't think I know.
Time to check your who, what, and what, Sherry. Who are you asking?
Murderers!
They're completely livid.
First they come to our land, then they murder our people.
Drop them all into the sea!
Beasts!
Are you able to help me?
I'd help you, friend, but I know nothing.
Where do you think you're going? Speak with the chief.
이거 치프야?
Are you able to help me?
I uphold the law, so I'm not answering your questions.
와 치프야?
Sir, this place is off limits to the public. Please state your business or leave, or I shall request that the police escort you out.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm a private investigator. I'm looking for a witness for a case.
A private investigator? Really? Even so, you're not authorized. I can't let you in.
And you are?
I'm Ronald Harlow, here to handle the refugee situation on behalf of City Hall. I'm the acting supervisor here, so I have full authority here to ask you to leave, or I shall order the police to detain you for trying to pass the blockade. Please, step back.
권위적으로 보이고 싶어한다. 땀 흘리며 긴장한 상태. 잘 안 드는 슬렛을 일한다. 몸을 많이 안 움직인다. 나이 들어 보이려 한다. 멍한 형식자, 피곤한 사무실. 나머진 맞는데. 지적인 옷을 입는 것으로 권위 있게 보이기를 간절히 바라지 마. 피곤한 사무직. 콧수염이 많이 나지 않았는데 그는 이 콧수염 덕분에 더 나이 들어 보이다 생각한다. 아닌 것 같아. 피곤한 멍한 형식주의자. 네. 일부러 코수염을 기르는 거지.
What about the murder that this crowd keeps shouting about?
It's mere assumption. I assure you that the situation is under the police's control.
I know you want to deal with this in the right way. You are obviously a professional and a responsible person, but you clearly have never handled a situation like this before.
I am handling it, Mr. Holmes. Don't question my capability here.
And tell me how you do it. You can't even calm this gathered crowd, and as for the police, they're not quite managing it either, are they? You consider yourself a problem solver, but until today, you've been solving problems sitting at your desk in a dark corner of a city hall room. Here, you need a more practical approach.
What are you driving at, Mr. Holmes?
I can help you to handle the situation if you're truly interested in solving things quickly and quietly.
And how exactly would you manage that?
Simply tell the police that I'm with City Hall and I'm permitted to investigate the scene. I'll work out the rest, but in return, I need your help finding my witness. She's a young refugee. She's with child or was with child recently.
Look, there is indeed a dead body inside the camp. So even if the girl you are looking for is there, all the refugees are now being detained and interrogated by the police. They won't allow you to speak with her, and I can't do anything about that until the situation settles down.
So it's in our mutual interest to settle it.
Oh. I suppose that things are bad enough that I ought not shy away from help. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell the police to allow you to come inside. Just tell me when you're ready.
Mr. Harlow, how did the refugees end up here exactly?
Oh, so you're not from around here yourself?
I've been away for some time, but I read the papers.
Yes, this whole story has been in the papers for almost a year now. They were smuggled to Cordona on a ship from Africa.
Smuggled? Then why didn't you deport them?
The smugglers managed to sneak them to shore and hide them inside an abandoned warehouse. When the police raided the warehouse and found the refugees there, the ship was already gone. We aren't even certain as to which ship it was. We have busy shipping routes with other colonies these days, you see.
So you decided to lock them up under a bridge?
There was no other option. We're still trying to work out what to do with them. I only hope we'll find a humane solution and not put them on a raft and float them out to sea.
Mr. Harlow, what exactly do you do here? What are your responsibilities?
What I do and what I am responsible for are two different realities, Mr. Holmes. On paper, I am in charge of the camp territory, security, provision, and the refugees in general. What I actually do most of the time is knock on every City Hall door trying to obtain some funding, or at least rations for the camp.
The police here on City Hall's behalf too?
They are, minus those who came here after the body was found. The governor won't let the refugees disperse into the island, so there's a significant police presence guarding the camp. Naturally, they answer directly to the police. I have some influence here, but I'm not their direct authority.
I'm ready to take a look at the scene.
All right. Go inside the camp and find Inspector Tewkesbury. He's the officer investigating the scene. Tell him I sent you. Say you're an independent expert from City Hall. He'll fill in the details for you.
I'll find my way with words. Thank you, Mr. Harlow.
그렇군. 일단 복장부터 다시 바꿔야 되겠군.
So they keep these refugees under a bridge like proverbial trolls. No wonder the people outside are so disturbed.
오, 닭들 예쁜데?
Who the hell are you? How did you get in here?
Mr. Ronald Harlow let me in, sir. I'm Sherlock Holmes, a surveyor of refugee affairs with City Hall. You're Inspector Tewkesbury, I presume?
A surveyor? What does that even mean?
In short, I've been sent to conduct an extensive report on the incident for the Colonial Office and to assess all the damage inflicted on state property.
Got it. Another paperworm sent to count money and get food for archive mold. Go on, look around, but don't make yourself too at home. As if I didn't have enough problems before you appeared.
Could you first tell me what happened here?
What happened? People from the bridge above the camp heard a woman screaming and saw a mass of refugees attacking a man. Clearly not a refugee. When the camp guards came by, the man was floating in the sewage canal with a knife in his chest. Bam. A murder. Big news for Cordona.
I'm sure. Thank you, Inspector. And none of the refugees were harmed?
One fellow was cut. He's lying over there near their kitchen. he's in a bad way.
You mentioned a woman screaming who attracted the bypassers on the bridge. Was she harmed?
No, she's all right, but perhaps the whole debacle started because of her. She started wailing and the refugees stood up for the girl.
And where is this young woman now?
Back there in the shacks, same as the rest of the refugees. She's been questioned by my men, but she's just some refugee girl. Can't understand much English.
Did you learn anything about the dead man?
The fellow looks like a thug. I've had dozens like him fished out of the sea over the past 20 years. Ever since these refugees arrived, there have been people on Cordona with bad blood in them. My best bet is that this thug had something against them too.
And no clue as to his identity?
He had some items on his body, but nothing to indicate who he was or where he was from.
I think I should catalogue his possessions in my records.
Go on. They're on the table near the body.
Do you have any suspects yet?
You're joking, right? I've got a whole camp full of suspects. And if you ask me, this bloke had it coming. Better bury him and forget about the whole thing. And now there's a crowd gathered at the camp, and my superiors say we must thoroughly interrogate the refugees. At least those who can understand any English.
Do you believe that your superiors wish to get rid of the refugees?
I think that both our superiors would rather keep the story quiet. Since that's an unaffordable luxury now, they're looking how to protect their public image. That's why I have to waste my time waiting for my people to turn every stone and befriend every refugee.
What a pleasant man this Mr. Tewkesbury is. Here we go again. Number of hours on Cordona before stumbling upon another dead body? 0.
아, 안경 껴야 되겠다. 눈이 뭐지? 야, 이 셜록 홈즈만 하면 꼭 이 눈이 아파. 왜 이러지? 아니면 내가 밝기를 좀 더 올릴까? 밝기라. 한 80대로 올리고 라벨도 좀 이 정도도 확 올릴까? 자, 이제 또 조사를, 난민조사. 여덟 번째 증거인가?
Police boots. Always happy to trample evidence. A heavy boot with a worn-out sole. A man's footprint. Clearly a left handprint here.
증거가 너무 많은데?
A furrow in the ground. A blood trail leading to or from the canal. A fresh crack, as if the crate was hit recently. Someone bled profusely here. A simple leather sheath. Perfect for a dirk. Malpal, soaked with salt water. £1,000. A fair sum, especially considering British currency isn't very common in Cordona.
야, 지금 이 시대에 1,000파운드를 그냥 가고 있었단 말이야?
Oh, carnelian agate beads, a traditional African adornment. The blood sprayed off the blade after the strike. No hint of blood or impact. It might have been used as an improvised weapon.
살아있네.
The cut is deep, potentially serious if not treated immediately. He is in shock, feverish and dehydrated.
Sherry, you know first aid. Surely you have a duty to help this man. You can't leave him to certain death.
That will kill, not save him. Someone was dragged against their will.
The refugees have been detained and will not leave until all the circumstances are clarified. Back off.
It won't do any good. Just washed. Better than nothing to bandage the wound. I'll use it to create a solution. I can use this to stop the infection from spreading.